This is the geometry non-calculator set D worksheet. So make sure you have the worksheet to hand. You're looking at the worksheet and you are able to get to it. This is what it should look like. Okay, so this is one of the more challenging ones, right? It actually takes up some of the more difficult points from all the others. So question 1 and 2 are like the questions in sheet B. So first one, work out the surface area of the prism. Make sure you know it's a prism that you're dealing with and it's not just a volume or anything like that. Read it carefully. It's the surface area it wants you to find. So what we're going to do is to work out the area of the triangle at the front, the triangle at the back, and the rectangles on the left, the bottom, and this sloping one. I'm going to label them. So the triangle at the front, the triangle at the back, the rectangle on the left hand side, this vertical one I'm going to call B, the bottom, the one it's all rested on is called C, and the sloping face I'm going to call that D. So to work out the area of A, I'm going to do 8 times 6 and half it. 8 times 6 is 48, half of 48 is 24. The area of B, this vertical side, so that there is 8 and that distance there is 15, so 8 times 15 is 120. Make sure you know how to do that. The base C is going to be 6 times 15. 6 times 15 is 90, and this sloping edge or the sloping face here, if you go around the edges you should be able to see that that distance there is 10 and that distance there is 15, so 10 times 15 is 150. I don't basically just add those up because I'm missing the triangle at the back, so I need to add an extra 24, so that's why I write them all down, 2 lots of 24, 120, 90 and 150. When I add those up I'm going to get 408. Make sure you could do that, make sure you're okay with it and you're fine and able to do it yourself. Question 2. Work out the area of the front, 16 times 4, and then times it by how far back it goes 3 back. So my order is a bit different there, but 16 times 3 is 48, 4 lots of 48 is 192 centimeters cubed. Again, make sure you're okay with your timesing and you can do this yourself without a calculator. Question 3, you should be pretty confident at this first. Here we need to find the exterior angle. The exterior angle is 360 divided by 9 in this case because there are 9 sides. 360 divided by 9 is 40. You should know this. 36 divided by 9 is 4. So 360 divided by 9 is 40. If the exterior angle is 40, that means the interior angle is going to be 180 take away 40. 180 take away 40 is 140, and that's my answer for X. Okay. Question 3 is a really good question to understand and to fully understand so that you can apply it to some more complex exam questions. Question 4. Okay, break this down. Once you think about it and the information you've been given, 2 parallel lines, a triangle in here, this triangle is isosceles, right? Once you've absorbed all of that information, now start working out some angles based on what you know. You only know one number here, so you can work out only this angle by using the fact that the angles in a straight line add up to 180 degrees. 180 take away 108 is 72, so that angle there is 72. Because we know the triangle is isosceles, that angle up here must also be 72 because the base angles in an isosceles triangle are the same. Once I know 2 angles inside the triangle, I can work out the third because the 3 angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So 2 lots of 72, take away that from 180, leaves me 36. If I think about the parallel lines and that Z shape, that Z shape means that if that's 36, X is going to have to be 36 as well. If X is 36 because alternate angles are equal. Yeah, you need to state that fully. Alternate angles are equal. Question 15. Okay, if I need to write down the X coordinates, the Y coordinates, add them up. So don't worry about it if they're negative. You're just going to add them. So 3 add minus 1 is 2. Minus 4 add 6 is also 2. So 2 and 2. We're going to half them each, and the answer is 1, 1. Okay, be very careful with that, especially with negative numbers. Don't be fazed by it. Take your time. The method is the same all the way through. Question 6. Find the angle X. So we're going to work out this angle X. Remember, it's in a triangle, and that triangle is isosceles because this is a radius, and this here is a radius as well. So I'm going to do 180 take away 140, and then divide my answer by 2. The 2 base angles in an isosceles triangle are the same. So 180 take away 140 is 40. 40 divided by 2 is 20. So X is 20. I showed you a method before for doing this. We could say that because the radius and the tangent are at 90 degrees to each other, I could say that this angle here is 90, this angle here is 90. If this angle at the center is 140, the four angles in the kite, in the quadrilateral, add up to 360 degrees. So do 360, take away 90, take away 90, take away 140. And that leaves me with 40. Alternatively, I could say that these two angles, the angle at the peak, at the point here, and the angle here at the center, these two angles add up to 180. So if this is 140, 180 take away 140 is 40. So that makes y 40. That's another way of doing it. Make sure you understand them both, and you make sure you're comfortable with a method to use. Question 8. Find the perimeter of this shape. Give your answer in terms of pi. Perimeter is the distance around the edge. So I'm going to use circumference, so that means cherry pie is delicious. The radius of this circle is 8, so that means the diameter must be 16. So to work out the circumference of this circle, if there was a full circle all the way round, I'd do 16 times pi, 16 pi. But what I want to do is to work out the perimeter of this shape. This bit here, just this curved section, is going to be a quarter of the full diameter. So over here, I'm going to find a quarter of 16 pi. A quarter of 16 pi is 4 pi. Where did those two 8s come from? Well, the perimeter is the distance all the way around. So in addition to that curved bit, which is a quarter of 16 pi, I need that bit 8 and that bit 8. So that's where my two 8s come from. So a quarter of 16 pi is 4 pi. 8 plus 8 is 16, and that's my answer. Please do think about this. This is a nice question, and it's one that you could definitely be asked. Find the area of the shape, give your answer in terms of pi. So I need to work out the area of that shape. Area, apple pies are 2. You need to make sure you remember that. What I've been given here is the diameter. The diameter is 12, so that means the radius is 6. The area of a full circle, if there was one, a full circle, would be pi times 6 squared, 36 pi. But this is not a full circle. It's half a circle. So half of 36 pi is 18 pi centimeters squared. There's my answer, and that's enough. Question 10. Write down the transformation. You should know it's a translation to get from A to B. So pick a corner on each of them, the same place on each. How do I get from this place on A to the same point on B? I don't need to move left or right, so that's going to be 0 at the top. I just need to move 3 up, so that'll be 3 at the bottom there. Okay, make sure you're familiar with that. You can do it, and you totally understand this. Question 11. I need to work out the area of the front of this L shape, so I'm going to chop it off there. And the area of this rectangle here is 15 times 9. 15 times 9 is 135. The area of this rectangle over here, well, I don't know this length here. I'm going to do 24 take away 9. 24 take away 9 is 15. And this distance over here is 6. So 15 times 6, which is 90. Add that to 135, and that gives me 225. I'm going to times that by 30, how far back it goes. And you need to take your time with these and make sure you are able to do them. And that's going to be 6,750. Okay, so do take your time with this. This is a bit of math that you should definitely be able to do. Question 12. Reflect the triangle using the mirror line y is equal to 5. Go to your y-axis, find 5, and draw a horizontal line through it. Label it y is equal to 5. Make sure you're using a pencil and a ruler. You're going to reflect this shape along the line y is equal to 5. It's 2 squares away, so it'll be 2 squares on the other side and flipped over. There's your answer. Question 13. Reflect the triangle using the mirror line x equals 3. So find x equals 3, which is over there. X equals 3. I'm going to reflect this triangle on x equals 3. I'm going to flip it over, right, and there's my answer. But be accurate with it. Use a pencil and a ruler as you're doing it, and there's no need to color in the shape. That just wastes time. Question 14. Enlarge the triangle by a scale factor of 2 and center of enlargement 3, 0. So the center of enlargement is 3, 0, which is just over here, just at the point 3 on the x-axis. So if I draw a line from there to this base corner, I could choose any corner, but I'm going to this corner over here. is just one square up. That's that green arrow down there at the bottom. Okay, because the scale factor is 2, I need to do 2 lots of those. 1, 2. So when I enlarge my shape, the bottom, the peak or the corner at the bottom is going to be over here. So I'm going to enlarge, I'm going to draw around the shape now, but just go twice as much as the original shape. The original shape was 2 high, so I'm going to go 2, 4 high. And the original shape had a base of 1, so I'm going to go 2 across, and here's my new shape. Okay? I need to draw that in clearly with a pencil and a ruler. Again, no need to shade it in. Okay? Make sure you're comfortable with that. Make sure you are able to do it. And make sure if you have any problems with any of these, you rewind, you go through, and you do it again, and you make sure you understand it fully so that you are able to do it in the exam if you get a question of this type.